The Indian Air Force faces a major defense dilemma amidst all the buzz around the Russian Su57 and the American F35 showcase in India. Should India invest in a foreign fifth-generation fighter jet to guard against the dual threat from 200-plus Chinese J-20s and soon nearly 40 Pakistani FC-35s? The defense minister has now made a huge declaration. India will never abandon its AMCA stealth fighter program. Speaking at the Aero India 2025, Rajnath Singh revealed, quote, "We have taken a firm resolve to manufacture the fifth-generation fighter aircraft within the country," unquote. While it remains to be seen if India ever decides to buy or manufacture the Su57 or the F35, any such project will not come at the expense of the indigenous AMCA program. The Defence Minister's resolve was echoed by Sanjeev Kumar, the Defence Production Secretary, saying, quote, "We are committed to the AMCA program and work is going on in that direction," unquote. The Made in India 5th generation stealth fighter jet program is set to redefine Indian Air Force combat capabilities once inducted in 2035. But will it meet the timeline? Will AMCA be competitive against the world's best? The AMCA project was approved by the Cabinet Committee on Security with an initial budget of around 15,000 crore rupees. It will involve development of 5 prototypes before moving on to series production. The Indian Air Force plans to induct a minimum of 120 stealth fighter jets after 2035. The AMCA is designed as a twin-engine, stealthy, swing-roll fighter with advanced avionics, smart weapons, and a supercruise capability that enables sustained supersonic flight without afterburners. The aircraft's stealth technology and 360-degree situational awareness will significantly enhance its survivability in combat scenarios. India is currently in discussion with leading aerospace manufacturers including Safran, Rolls-Royce, and GE Aerospace to finalize an engine partner for the AMCA. The first 2 squadrons, or the Mk1 version, will be powered by American F414 engines. However, IAF may push for a more powerful engine down the line. Later versions like Mk2 will feature this more powerful domestically developed engine. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force had the opportunity to evaluate the world's leading stealth fighter jets, Russia's Su57 and the American F35, at the Aero India. The Su57, demonstrated by Russian test pilot Sergei Bogdan, boasts high maneuverability, an AI-assisted radar system, and hypersonic missile compatibility. It can reach speeds of Mach 2 or nearly 2,200 km per hour with afterburners and has a service ceiling of 20,000 meters. Meanwhile, the American F-35 has a slightly slower speed at 1,900 km per hour, but arguably, it has a better cutting-edge stealth design, network combat systems, and superior electronic warfare capabilities. Moreover, the F-35 is far more proven and popular, with nearly 19 countries either flying it or having placed orders. The major F-35 operating nations, apart from the United States, also include Australia, Japan, South Korea, Norway, Italy, and of course, the United Kingdom. Some experts argue that a few squadrons of either aircraft would provide India an operational edge against regional adversaries while the AMCA production ramps up. India faces growing threats from Chinese and Pakistani stealth fighters, particularly the J-20 and the FC-35. Given these threats, AMCA's timely development is crucial. A domestically built stealth fighter jet will also reduce India's dependence on foreign suppliers and safeguard critical technologies. It will also boost the domestic aerospace industry, create new opportunities for technological advancements, and create thousands of jobs. The rise of India's defense manufacturing sector is further reflected in its record-breaking local defense production and export figures. In 2014, for example, domestic defense manufacturing was valued at 46,429 crore rupees, which reached 1,27,200 crore rupees in 2024, signaling a 174% rise in just a decade. This figure is further expected to surpass 1.6 lakh crore rupees by the end of financial year 2025-26. Additionally, Indian defense exports are expected to exceed 30,000 crore rupees in the same period. Historically, the world's largest defense importer, today India is self-manufacturing over 65% of its defense tech and hardware domestically. It's a phenomenal growth story in a relatively short span of time. In another example of India's growing defense tech manufacturing prowess, Aero India 2025 will also feature cutting-edge innovations such as robotic mules and the anti-stealth VHF radar. Developed by Bharat Electronics Limited and the DRDO, this new VHF radar could be India's shield against Chinese stealth threats like the J-20s stationed in occupied Tibet. Operating in the 30 to 300 MHz frequency band, it can penetrate stealth coatings and track aerial threats over 100 nautical miles away. While stealth jets like the J-20s are designed against conventional radar waves, the VHF radar's longer wavelength often sync with the stealth jet designs, making them more visible. Now, once you can track a target, it naturally becomes easier to target it. While India continues to take giant strides in the defense manufacturing arena, the AMCA will be the crown jewel of this process. And the defense minister's statement is an indication that the AMCA remains a priority. But what do you believe? Should India also buy a few squadrons of the Su57 or the F35? Let's take a look at some more defense updates. The Indian Army has scrapped contracts for 400 logistics drones worth 230 crore rupees after discovering Chinese components in these drones. Originally meant for deployment along the line of actual control or LAC with China, these drones posed cyber security threats, raising alarms over potential hacking and hijacking, jamming and backdoor exploits. With a zero-tolerance policy, the Indian Army is enforcing stricter procurement checks and technical verifications to ensure that India's military drones remain secure, reliable and 100% free from Chinese parts. The message is loud and clear. National security is not up for compromise. France is in advanced negotiations with India to purchase the Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launcher system. This marks a potential first where France, India's second largest arms supplier, buys Indian-made advanced weapon systems. The DRDO confirmed ongoing discussions, though no deal has been finalized yet. The Pinaka system, with an upgraded range of 90 kilometers, was demonstrated to a French delegation 3 months ago and received positive feedback. The Defense Research and Development Organization is already making strides in advancing the Pinaka system, with a 120-kilometer strike version also in the pipeline. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in France for an AI summit with President Emmanuel Macron, but it's yet unclear if the Pinaka deal will also be discussed during their bilateral talks. The third edition of Exercise Cyclone, a joint military drill between India and Egypt, kicked off on the 10th of February at the Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan. This annual exercise, held alternatively in both nations, focuses on special operations training in desert and semi-desert terrain. The Indian Army's elite parachute regiment, Special Forces and Egypt's Rangers and paratroopers are participating, honing their skills in counter-terrorism and joint combat strategies. India and Egypt share a rich history of defense cooperation dating back to their joint fighter aircraft development in the 1960s. Also remember to like, share and subscribe to Inconnect News.